First, you can get $500 off a tankless water heater installation. And there are so many benefits to a tankless water heater, including
endless hot water.
Yes, endless hot water and lots of nice warm showers. So call Dwayne Blanton Home Services now to get $500 off a tankless water heater.
$500 off.
That's right, $500 off through December 31st. Call Dwayne Blanton Home Services and Merry Tanksmiths.
Dwayne Blanton Home Services. We'll fix it with a smile.
And we're out. Back in 60.
Hey, what are you eating?
Chimichurri filet mignon. It's a Factor meal.
Oh, nice. Wait, they let you eat like that in the pros?
Oh, they insist on it. A pro's work starts on the plate.
Oh, man, that does look good. Let me have a taste?
Get your own.
All right. Where do I find this? Is it factormeals.com?
Yep, and they've got a deal going on.
Oh, love a deal. I am so in.
Smart move. Pro move.
All right. Factor. Eat like a pro.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
There's only one station to talk Chicago sports. Sports Radio 670 The Score and 670thescore.com. Chicago's sports station. WSCR Chicago, WBMX HD2 Chicago, and Odyssey Sports Station.
Oh, it's Saturday night.
This is the Jody Mack Show. Here's Jody McDonald.
Jay Mack here with you on the Infinity Sports Network. Hour down, 3 to play. I'll keep you busy for the next 3 hours. A couple of games still keeping me busy. One a little bit more competitive than the other. The Bears and the Packers, one-score game, 13-6. Chicago has the ball in Green Bay territory, but they're in trouble because they're looking at a 3rd and 20. It was 3rd and 10. Caleb Williams avoided a sack, got out of the pocket, ran down the sidelines, just stuck the ball out for what probably would have been a first down. However, his lineman got called for holding. Ball comes back, 3rd and 20. He just got sacked again. The ball came loose, but it looked like he was down. And there was a face mask on the play. Ooh, if they see that, that's an automatic first down. Damn. I'll have to see how the call on this one goes. Don't need to be paying close attention to the other game of consequence right now. College football playoff. Oregon is putting a beatdown on JMU. Well, at least JMU scoring. I'm going to talk about this game. All 4 of the college football playoff games that were played over the weekend, starting last night with Alabama's win. We'll talk about it all with one of my favorite college football guys who's been coming on my show for years, does an outstanding job covering the sport for The Athletic. Ralph Russo joins me on the Infinity Sports Network. How's your Saturday for football gone, Ralph?
Pretty good, Jody. Yeah, I mean, listen, it's the college football playoffs started Friday night. We got 2 good games. That's 2 more than we got last year in the first round. So I guess progress. You know, again, the first 2 were pretty interesting. The last 2 went very much the way we thought that they were going to go, though I guess the Ducks have gotten sloppy enough here in the second half that I'm sure Dan Lanning will have a fun old time with his players at practice, reminding them about how they didn't finish this game as cleanly as they started it.
Nothing better for a coach than winning a game, but then having a whole bunch of stuff to be able to coach up after the fact. That's as good as it gets for a coach, for Dan Lanning. All right, let's start at the back and start the front here and go forward. 48 points by the Ducks today. Again, I've been jumping back between the NFL game and the college game. Dante Moore's had a pretty good afternoon / evening, 15 of 23 and for over 300 yards and 4 touchdown passes. Threw a couple of picks, like I said, got a little sloppy here at the end, but he also ran one in. How good a day has Dante Moore had in your eyes? And is he the kind of quarterback that can get on a roll and bring a championship back to the Pacific Northwest?
Yeah, I think he is. I think he has become a really fascinating, sort of storyline, secondary storyline of this playoff. He's a really talented kid. He was a 5-star out of high school. He went to UCLA out of high school from Detroit, and didn't really play very well as a freshman starter. They threw him in on Chip Kelly's last year there, and it didn't go very well. He seemed a little overwhelmed. Transfers to Oregon last year to sit. Like which I give him and his family a lot of credit. They knew that Oregon was going to play Dylan Gabriel, and Dante Moore went there to sit and learn for a year, and he has been really, really good this year. And I think the plan was like, okay, I'll start for 2 years at Oregon, cash in some NIL money, win a bunch of games, and by the time I get to the end of my second year, I'll be a high first-round draft pick. What's happened, though, he's played well enough, and he's a talented enough kid, that I think with this playoff, what we're going to see is like, oh, is this guy going to be good enough to maybe be a high first-round draft pick this year, right? Like, listen, what he did today, JMU doesn't sort of have the horses to keep up with the Ducks. He was very good, but, again, it's just a different animal. But if he can, beat Texas Tech in a couple of weeks, and then, you down the road, you're looking at Indiana or Alabama, somebody like that. Like, I just wonder if, like, his trajectory is going to change throughout this playoff to the point where maybe he goes, hey, I'm going to be a top 5 pick. I'm out of here.
And, oh, by the way, those teams that just threw out that he could potentially be playing against, those are quarterbacked by other quarterbacks that could be going in the top 5, 10, depending on how high they go. So if he goes mano a mano with them, against them, that certainly will raise his profile. It certainly helped Mendoza to a Heisman Trophy by winning the game that he won in a quarterback matchup. So, yeah, he's going to get a chance to show his stock against even better going forward. You mentioned Dan Lanning, the coach of Oregon. I think he's one of the best coaches in all of college football. Again, we look at championships, and we always look at the quarterback and the coach first. Is Dan Lanning a college football championship level head coach in your eyes?
I think he will. I think at this point, Oregon looks like a school. Like, I don't know if they'll get there this year, Jody, but they're cranking out players and wins and really good teams. And in this new age where, hey, you got to invest in the roster, like, that ain't a problem for Oregon, right? They got that down too. And Lanning is highly motivated. He seems to be able to push all the right buttons when it comes. Now he'll be interesting going forward. Now, this team loses its defensive and offensive coordinators. I mean, they're going to stick with him through the playoff, but Will Stein's going to become the head coach at the offensive coordinator is becoming a head coach at Kentucky, and Tosh Lupoy, the defensive coordinator, will be the head coach at Cal next year. So one of the things that always becomes interesting, he's already promoted from within the staff, but how those things change is usually an interesting sign for how good the coach is. In other words, if he can replace good coordinators with other good coordinators. But my sense with Oregon right now is it is where they are as a program with Lanning, they're going to get a championship at some point. It's just a matter of, like, is it this year? Is it next year? Is it 2 years from now?
Speaking of the work of replacing coaches, that's exactly what Ole Miss had to do. Yes, we all know the long and drawn out and at times embarrassing, at times humorous trek of their former head coach down to the Bayou. They, too, elevated a coach from the staff to be able to take him on. I saw no difference from Ole Miss today than the Ole Miss team that got into the playoffs with the outstanding regular season they had. When something like that happens, when one of the assistants gets promoted to take over a coach, I hate it when it happens in season, but it does happen from time to time. What does this say? Does this have any effect on how we judge Lane Kiffin by what Ole Miss did today and what they could potentially do going forward?
I don't think you judge him by what happened today so much. Again, the thing with Kiffin, he goes to LSU. His offensive coordinator, Charlie Weiss Jr., yes, son of that Charlie Weiss, and a few of the other offensive coaches who are going to follow him to LSU, but not just yet. Right? Charlie Weiss Jr. called the plays for this game, which is an interesting dynamic because it's always considered Lane's offense. But Weiss Jr.'s got a good reputation here and probably served him very well for that offense to look good with him being, the number one play caller and Lane not around. I think we will have a better sense of whether they miss Lane Kiffin or whether Ole Miss misses Lane Kiffin when the Rebels play Georgia, right? They beat Tulane 45-10 in the regular season. They beat Tulane 41-10 in the playoff. Again, not to disparage Tulane, but that's a different level of competition. I do wonder if when you pull the Lane Kiffin out of the mix against a team like Georgia, maybe that's when you miss the magic that he can kind of create as a play caller. But the team is good, and I think they are very much motivated to say, "Hey, man, we're good no matter who's coaching us."
All right, let me ask you about something with that game which struck me today, and maybe I'm off base. You will tell me if I am, but I just think that it's wrong. Ole Miss now takes on Georgia, SEC matchup. Been there, done that. Still a great game, but it's in the Sugar Bowl, which is kind of an advantage for Georgia as far as I see it. When they're putting the rankings together and knowing where teams could potentially be playing, is it just, hey, we do the rankings and then they fall into whatever playoff venue, a.k.a. bowl game it is? Should they take it into consideration if teams have a major advantage as to a potential bowl game, which becomes a playoff game? Bowl game's one thing. A bowl playoff game's another thing. Do you think the committee looks at that at all?
Well, there is a way to do this. There is a way they do this, and it's part old school bowl game, and it's part actually trying to give the higher seeded team an advantage. Again, it's very college football, right? It's always hard to explain how college football does its business. On one hand, the Sugar Bowl has a traditional relationship, contractual relationship with the SEC champion. It has going back several years. So if the SEC champion is one of the teams that earns a bye and gets one of the top 4 seeds, like Georgia, they're going to put the SEC champion in the Sugar Bowl. They're going to put the Big Ten champion, if possible, in the Rose Bowl. And then the other 2 games, it comes down to sort of like, well, we don't want to put the higher seeded team at a disadvantage, so we're going to move some people around to make sure, or that the higher seed team has something of an advantage when it comes to home field or how far they got to go, right? So it's a little mix of old school, new school. And, listen, I lived in Mississippi for a few years. I actually think the drive from Oxford to New Orleans is actually a little closer than Athens to New Orleans. So trust me, Ole Miss fans will be thrilled to go down to make the 6-hour drive down to New Orleans. They should show out pretty well. But yeah, like how they set up the quarterfinals and the second round or the second round ends up being, again, a little bit old school, a little bit new school, but they want to create they want to put some of these teams closer to their campuses because they want to get the big crowds, right? But you also want to balance how much of a home field advantage you want to give to the higher rated team.
All right, the other locked-in spot was Alabama coming off their 17-point come-from-behind win, which was pretty impressive, if you ask me. And that was the 8-9 matchup, so they got to take on the number 1 team, and that would be Indiana. So they're going Rose. Alabama, for maybe being the best college football program in the last, wherever you want to draw the line, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 25, 30, 40. You can do it at a couple different junctures and end up with the tied as the number 1 team. That's not a oftentimes spot for them. They're just not the SEC doesn't get out to the Rose Bowl, but now with the new playoff setup, it is the granddaddy of all. I've always looked at it that way before. There was a college football playoff. It was the biggest bowl game. Sometimes it decided the championship. Sometimes it didn't, but it didn't matter. It was the granddaddy of them all. How big is Alabama versus Indiana in the Rose Bowl? everything taken into consideration.
Yeah, it's an incredible matchup when you consider just the stories of these two teams. As you said, like Alabama has represented all that is great about college football. They have, Nick Saban's dynasty is unprecedented, 6 national titles over about a 12, 13-year span. Now they are not that anymore. They're not that currently, with Saban gone for 2 years and Kalen DeVore taking over, but they're also not bad. Like just to be clear, right? Like it's tough to take over for a legend, and Kalen DeVore certainly faces a lot of scrutiny for being a guy who's a really good coach with a really good team. But this is not Nick Saban's Alabama. But to think that Alabama will go play Indiana, first time that's ever happened, by the way, in the Rose Bowl as the underdog. That Indiana, the team that began this season with more losses than any major college football program ever. They were the losingest college football program ever. And in 2 years under Kurt Cignetti, a former Saban assistant, by the way, has become the number 1 team in the country. It is truly a flabbergasting story when you just look at the history of these two programs, to think that the first time that they would meet, it would be in the quarterfinal of a college football playoff with Indiana as the number 1 team and favorite. 6.5-point favorite, by the way. Not exactly not just a nothing favorite there. 6.5-point favorite with the Heisman Trophy winner, and Alabama is the gritty underdog trying to pull the upset, right? Like it's an incredible story what Indiana has done. And again, this stage, these two teams, I find this whole thing incredibly fascinating, and really Alabama did an amazing job Friday night coming back. Yep. I mean, they looked absolutely dead in a rocking environment in Norman against the Sooners. Sooners made a couple of mistakes that flipped that game, and then it just completely got away from them.
Against the team they had lost to previously in the year, following up not playing well against Georgia in the SEC championship, and falling behind 17-0. So, yeah, they had a lot of chips stacked against them, and damn if they didn't answer the call. So kudos to them for that one. All right, last playoff game going forward I want to ask you about is the Orange, which is Texas Tech against Oregon. Again, a matchup we're not used to seeing too often, which makes it very interesting for me. And, oh, by the way, Texas Tech, when the season started, people talked about Texas being a potential national champion. Some people thought, certainly in season, and some maybe at the beginning, that Texas A&M could be a national champion. There's only one Texas team left standing, and that's Texas Tech. And they haven't played yet, but they did earn the bye through the first round. How much would, and if they win a national championship, of course, it's huge. But if they just get a playoff win, if they can beat Oregon next week, what does that do for the Texas Tech program?
Yeah, again, the fascinating part about Texas Tech, especially facing a team like Oregon, and just in case, your listeners, Oregon kicked the field goal. They're okay. They're not going to blow this lead. They just got another field goal. There's only about 4 minutes left. They might even cover, though. I think JMU's got a chance to go through the back door here. Right. I think an interesting way to look at Texas Tech is in some ways they are the new Oregon. And what I mean by that is, like, here's this program that doesn't have a whole lot of history, right? But we're going to have a huge investment from a couple of boosters. One particular oil booster, a guy named Cody Campbell, a former Texas Tech player, has been pivotal in helping Texas Tech turn its program around. We're going to put a lot of money into our program, and especially right now, we're going to put a lot of money towards players because you can do that legally. And all of a sudden, this is a program that had never won a Big 12 championship, hadn't won any kind of conference championship since 1955.
Wow.
And now they don't just put together a roster good enough to win a conference championship. I think they have a roster good enough. I don't know if they're good enough to win the national championship. I think they've got some limitations on offense that I think will eventually make it hard for them to win 3 big games in a row. But they, like, if Oregon is new money in college football, Texas Tech is newer money, right? Like if we think of it from like the upper class of college football, Texas Tech is the nouveauist reach, I guess what you would call that. They're just this. They have really taken advantage and flourished in this new era of college football, and they put together a hell of a team. Their defense is just wildly good, and the most interesting part of that matchup will be. Oregon's got a bunch of NFL players on its offensive line, and Texas Tech has a whole bunch of NFL players on its defensive line, and it'll be fun to watch those guys butt heads.
Like the matchup, and I like your comp of Texas Tech being the southern aspect of Oregon potentially going forward. That's could make for a great matchup. All right, last question for you. You did a great job running down the games that were played and taking a peek ahead to the matchups going forward in the Elite Eight. But they're going to have a whole bunch of other bowl games that they're going to play. Now, I'm not talking bowl games with playoff teams. The other bowl games, is there one that you circled when they came out and you said, all right, I if I'm not covering that, I got to be in front of a TV. I got to make sure that I watch it. Maybe you already have your assignment. What is the bowl game that isn't a playoff game that will have Ralph Russo's eyeballs attached?
So it's hard to find bowl games where you kind of know, okay, are the star players playing? Is the coach still there? Like, what are we, like, I know the uniform is showing up, but what's the team in that uniform that's showing up? So Texas and Michigan are playing, and that's an interesting game if you just look at the helmets and the uniforms, but I don't know if that's going to be a very interesting game on the field because I'm not sure who's showing up for those two teams. Where I think both teams show up motivated with pretty loaded rosters, a couple of teams that were very good this year. I think it's called the ReliaQuest Bowl. These games aren't named like they used to be, Jody, when we were young. I believe it's the ReliaQuest Bowl. I think it's in Tampa. It might be in Orlando. Regardless, it's Iowa against Vanderbilt. Yeah, I'll just give you the teams. It's Iowa against Vanderbilt. I know Vanderbilt is pumped up to be there. They're going to have all their players, Diego Pavia, the Heisman Trophy runner-up, and like they're going to be motivated to play in this game and win this game. I think Iowa will be motivated to play and win. That was a pretty good team. I know Iowa was only 8-4, but they played a very difficult Big Ten schedule and played very competitive in a lot of games. So yeah, if you're looking for an entertaining bowl game where the players who are playing are going to be the guys who played during the regular season, I think that has the most likely that's the one most likely to be that type of game.
I like it. That's a great answer. But I came up with one more question while you were coming up with that answer, because I don't want to say I was disappointed, but I had kind of got out on a limb and I was projecting and I projected incorrectly. I thought that Arch Manning would hold off till after he played in the bowl game, and if he had a big enough game, I thought that he could certainly be a first-round pick, a top 10 pick, maybe even play himself up all the way to number 1, depending on who has that pick when the NFL season is over and done with. He's already declared he's staying, he's going back. He is as high an NIL guy as there is in the country, so no pity parties for him. He's going to do just fine. An extra year in college. I thought he was good enough in the second half of the season that he had bounced back from the slow start to his year, and I still think if I could draft any college quarterback going forward next year, I'd take Arch Manning. Were you surprised by his decision? Do you agree with his decision to go back to Texas?
I wasn't surprised because, Jody, I really do think they've hinted, in some ways more than hinted, that this, and when I say they, I mean his family, right? Archie had sort of commented and more than hinted that, no, we're going to do this for 2 years. And I think the plan was always, if you remember, Peyton came back for an extra year. Eli came back. Now, this is when guys were playing 3 or 4 years, right? So Arch is looking at starting for 2 years. But Peyton and Eli both, took extra years in college, and I think both of them thought it helped them not just getting drafted, but it helped them in their transition to being successful NFL players. And I think that I think the family looks at Texas, the situation there, and you're right, he got better. So what happens next year if he gets better again? And it's not just a matter of trying to be a high draft pick. I think it's also a matter of like what prepares you to be successful in the NFL. And I think the family has decided that 2 years of starting and getting all that experience makes you more likely to not just be a first-round draft pick, but be a successful long-term NFL quarterback. So I wasn't surprised, and I like it because, again, it sort of harkens back to, I think, the way quarterbacks used to be developed a little more in college.
No, I'm disappointed because for me and my Schadenfreude fellow Jet fans, we always believed that Peyton went back for an extra year because he didn't want to be a Jet. And that's why he went back for his senior year in Tennessee, and that gave us license to not like him for his entire career. But you're probably right. They had it laid out ahead of time, as did Arch. I'll just have to have him be the number 1 overall pick next year. We shall see. Ralph Russo.
Jody, I'm a Jets fan too, so yeah, I'm with you on it.
Yeah,
we can commiserate on that. Yeah.
Ralph, I know I text you, and we've only got a couple of shows left here on the Infinity Network. New network, Westwood's going in a different direction. So my time will be up next weekend. I just want to thank you for jumping on as often as you have over the last several years, as being a good guest as you have been. If and when I get another national gig, know for sure I'll be reaching out to get you on to talk college football. Thank you very much for doing as good a job as you've done for me these last several years.
Jody, always a pleasure. You're the best. And, wherever you go, I'm happy to be there with you.
Ralph Russo from The Athletic here with me on the Infinity Sports Network. Thanks, Ralph. We'll talk, I'm sure, at some point. If not, then I'll be texting you just to get some info one way or the other. Ralph Russo here with me on the Infinity Sports Network. All right, got to take a timeout, come back. Got phones reopening, 888-710-4476. Oh, by the way, we got an NFL still game going on. The Bears kicked the field goal with 2 and change to play to cut it to 7. Onside kick, recovered it. On 4th and 4 inside the 10, Caleb Williams completed a pass back in the end zone. I think it was DJ Moore, but I'm not sure of that. The Bear receiver got his second foot down right inside the white to tie it up. They decided to kick the PAT rather than go for 2. They could have gone for the win. They kicked the PAT. There's 10 seconds left. The Packers ran one play, did nothing. They flipped the coin. Packers got the ball first and are driving already into Bear territory. I think they're about the 35, 38-yard line, somewhere thereabouts. So we'll come back. I'll put a capper on that show, that game potentially for you, and I'll reopen my phones. 888-710-4476. Get on now with me, Jody Mack.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com, because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/play.
You could think you found your dream home online. The kitchen island looks perfect for your inner chef. The backyard, a paradise for your green thumb. And that extra room, hello walk-in closet. But here's the twist. The lot next door just got rezoned for years of construction. And this sound, yeah, you're going to be hearing a lot of that. Don't let your dream home turn into a nightmare. Work with the expertise and ethical training of a Realtor, here to guide and help protect you from the surprises you didn't see coming. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors, right by you.
Stop your grinding with Brooks Night Guard.
Are you waking up in the morning with a sore jaw, headaches, ringing in your ears, all because you're grinding and clenching your teeth at night? That's exactly what was going on with me. I ended up going to a dentist, and he wants to charge over $600 for a night guard. That's when I found the Brooks Night Guard. You mold it at home to the top or bottom teeth. Other mouth guards go all the way to the back, which allows the back teeth to touch. This is where most of the grinding and clenching occurs. The Brooks Night Guard redirects the bite force away from the back teeth, reducing jaw pain while still protecting the teeth. This unique design is what makes Brooks Night Guard different from all other traditional grind guards. Order your Brooks Night Guard today and get 10% off plus free shipping. Go to brooksnightguard.com and enter the code BRUX91. That's BRUX91. Stop your grinding with Brooks Night Guard.
Hey Chicago fans, Patrick Manley here. It's time to kick off your deck project with TimberTech, a real decking all-star. TimberTech is the #1 brand in premium decking. It delivers real wood looks without the hassle of costly maintenance, and it will never rot, warp, splinter, or peel. Plus, with industry-leading warranties, you know your deck will perform at the top of its game season after season. Discover why TimberTech is Chicago's MVP of decking and railing. Order free samples at timbertech.com.
Hey, this is Coach Wanstead here. With the holiday season coming, that means extra time on your feet. I was kind of like the Grinch at Christmas. If you're living in pain, you owe it to yourself to see if the Good Feet arch supports will help you. When I first tried on the arch supports, I could feel the difference right away in my balance, posture, and didn't have any discomfort. It's free to try. You'll work one-on-one with a Good Feet arch specialist and then pairs you with your own personalized arch support solution. If you're someone who's in pain, learning if Good Feet arch supports will work for you is as easy as going in for a free fitting and test walk. You can even use HSA or FSA account to purchase your arch supports. Get back to doing things that you love. Try for yourself and feel the difference. It all starts with one visit to your Good Feet store. Schedule your free fitting and test walk at goodfeet.com or just stop by the store nearest you with locations in Skokie, Schaumburg, Algonquin, Geneva, Naperville, Orland Park, and Highland, Indiana.
When the new year hits, every business could use a little something to stay ahead. A lift, a jump start, an edge, or perhaps a boost. Like the all-new 5-year business boost from Comcast Business. It's the certainty of a price lock for 5 years on qualifying internet bundles. Plus, you'll have the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment, so your whole team can stay connected at a great rate. And to sweeten the deal, ask about a $500 prepaid card when you add 2 lines of mobile. It's the boost your business deserves. So sign up for the 5-year business boost and get a 5-year price lock on ultra-reliable Wi-Fi. Plus, ask about a $500 prepaid card. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 2/22/26, new customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge excluding taxes and fees. Best Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks Vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
And now, it's time for the Scores postgame show, presented by TimberTech Decking and Railing, #1 in premium decking. Order free samples at timbertech.com and buy Turo Tire, Chicago's hometown tire. Find a dealer at Turo.com. Now here are your hosts, Olin Kreutz, Patrick Manley, and Mully from the Mully and Haugh Show on Chicago's Sports Radio 670 The Score. Always live on the free Odyssey and iHeartRadio apps.
Welcome in to the football postgame show. Presented by TimberTech Decking and Railing and a Turo Tire. I mean, I don't know.
Pat, I don't care. Pat, Mully, I don't care. We won.
That was absolutely extraordinary. The series of events that had to occur at the end of that game. I mean, go Il Papa. Yeah. The Pope is a football fan. There had to be some divine intervention of some sort there. Holy God, that was extraordinary.
Beat up, man. Beat up for 3 or more quarters, right? And just keep fighting. This team finds a way to win. Cairo keeps him in the game with his kicks. How he makes those kicks with that win, I'll let Pat Manley talk about that. The throw at the end of the game, recovering the onside kick, special teams comes up huge. Defense at the end of the game gets the stops, the fumble snap. I mean, you got to go back through that game to even find what happened. Chicago, the city, deserves that win. I understand what it looked like, but what it ended up like, 11-4 on top of the NFC North. Let's go get it.
11 wins, Pat.
Yeah, well,
Playoff
Pat,
appearance.
He's probably drinking already. He's excited about.
I think he's weeping.
Yeah, he's on the bridge that Grody was talking about. He's on the bridge, and then he's enjoying it with these fans. And when he checks in with us, he'll be ready to go and talk about this. But hey, man, this team has showed us this all year, right? And it was ugly for most of the game, Mully, and disappointing.
Oh yeah.
And it started from the 4th and 1 call on the goal line when they got stopped. It seemed like they took all the momentum out of the Chicago Bears, but then it ended with a beautiful pass from Caleb Williams to DJ Moore, makes the catch with the defender draped all over his back, probably there a little early too, still comes down with that football. The only receiver we said that was healthy that day, the onside kick recovery, this team just keeps fighting. The guts that they show throughout a game and the belief that they show that they can find a way to win a football game that it looked like they couldn't get anything right, Mully? They couldn't get off the field for the Packers. I don't know what the time of possession ends up being during that game, but it wasn't good for the Bears. The backup quarterback, Malik, comes in, and the Packers have all backup defenders, and they're shutting the Bears' offense down. And these Bears, man, they just keep fighting. They keep fighting. They keep finding ways to win football games that almost seem impossible. And the fans, you're watching them on TV, they deserve that win against the Packers. Credit to the Chicago Bears for fighting their butts off to find a way to win a game where they look terrible most of the game.
Patrick?
Oh. Sorry, I got lost.
I don't blame you. We were all lost, Pat.
Oh, but I was still celebrating, man. I had a whole.
No, I don't blame you, man. Hey, listen, I wish I was with you.
No, I didn't get lost. I went to the wrong line, man. But what an unbelievable game, guys. And I heard you, Olin. It's just so much to talk about. But the big thing to me, guys, I just wrote the word belief. This whole season, they've talked about that. They've won these close games, and they believe they can come back and win games at the end of the games. They were down 16-6 with 5 minutes to go. You're sitting here writing your notes. I talk about all the time, writing your notes after the game, towards the end of the game, and where your narrative's going is, the D-line's getting blown off, all the penalties, the emotions at the beginning of the game, the personal fouls, all that kind of stuff. They didn't show up to play. They got beat up front. The backup quarterback comes in and beat them. All this stuff. But the thing is, they believe and they got it done. I mean, it's unbelievable. Like, everything fell their way, right? But they made it happen. And it starts with belief and the no quit, and they got it done. I can't believe it. This is a game Chicago will not forget for a while, because there was a lot on this. Well, there was a whole lot on this. First year of Ben Johnson, expecting a lot out of this game. I said they were going to be a 10-digit win. I didn't think they'd be down by 10 in the fourth quarter, but man, oh man, what a game. And just how exciting is that, and good for that team. Happy for them. And Olin, I think you said you're happy for the city, and so am I. They deserve it. And go on and celebrate for the rest of the night.
That is as unlikely an outcome as I've ever seen from a football game. All of the things that Olin was just rattling off there that had to happen to win that game. Mm-hmm. I had a friend who texted me and said, wow, I guess they really showed who they are tonight because they're down 10. And
he was right, Mully.
Yes,
he was right.
They did. That's exactly where I was going. You are so right, Olin. They showed us that they have this extraordinary self-belief that they somehow pulled out a game that they had no business. They had no business of trailing in, frankly, without Micah Parsons and Evan Williams and Zach Tom to start the game. And then you knock out the starting quarterback. I mean, how would we have felt if they had come out, if we were sitting here lamenting a lost opportunity? It's extraordinary that they won that game. It is a glorious outcome. Anybody who is from Chicago, anybody who has ever been a Bear fan, rejoice. It's extraordinary.
Yeah, guys. Usually when you go ahead, Pat. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wrote. Sorry, man. I'm still all excited.
No, you're good.
Yeah,
I'm happy for Caleb, man. Just another thing that Caleb's done to kind of prove to us that he's a good quarterback, man. He pulled the game out in the end.
Ja'Day Walker. Did you have him in the pool?
No, that throw to him is ridiculous. I mean, the throw he made there, the throw he made to DJ, the fact he keeps pulling these games out at the end, And again, that's the belief the team has in him, and he has the ultimate belief, and he's doing it. And he stepped up, and he took care of the question we had about the first Packers game and throwing that interception. Well, he came back and won this game. It's just, I still can't believe it. And Olin, like you said, there's so many things that had to go right, but that's just belief, man. We played in 2 games like that back-to-back, the Browns game and the 49ers game. Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking about, getting the onside kick. I think it was Bobby Howard recovered one of them in one of the games, and we went on to go on, I forgot which one it was, to go on and win in overtime. But that's stuff you just believe in, and things fall your way when you have that belief and you have the players to do it.
Yeah, when you're watching that game the whole time, you're thinking, man, it's the first time I've seen the Chicago Bears out-coach this bad all year. And like Pat's saying, you got these storylines you're coming to the game with, but the whole time you're sitting there watching and thinking this team has not quit on itself all year. And they just seem to find a way at some point. At some point they find a way to get back into the football game. And Dennis Allen's plan that didn't look great, the bend but don't break, is what keeps them in the football game. Cairo Santos, you want to talk about unbelievable. I mean, Pat, you tell us the field goals he made. You tell me about those field goals he kicked. Usually I don't even know if he'll make a 40-plus field goal. Now he decides the wind's just got to be crazy for this guy to be locked in. And Pat said pregame, Pat said, I just believe in clutch moments, he'll still get the job done. I remember I was thinking, that was ringing in my head, Pat, when he was making those kicks. And I kept thinking, if they win this game, it'll be because Cairo kept them in the game when they shouldn't have been.
Yes.
Right? When they had bad plays on offense, they backed up. I think one time, I'd have to go back and look, but one time the field goal he made wasn't at the intentional grounding, and they backed up to I don't know what it was. But he made the field goal.
Yeah.
He made another field goal. Then he kicked the onside kick that they got. And then it's Blackwell again, who did that last week, right, on the special teams play at the 1-yard line when he downed it. Torrey Taylor with good kicks. Defense wasn't stopping anybody. All of a sudden, man, at the end of the game, Caleb told us that he remembers Michael Jordan's quote, and everyone talked about it, right, Mully? You asked us about it, and he said, I'm just going to keep taking that shot at the end of the games. And he threw that ball to DJ Moore, and he drops it in the bucket, man. And DJ Moore catches it with the defender on his back. And I can't remember, being an analyst, a funner year that I've been watching the Chicago Bears fight every game. And the fact that, here's the thing, say whatever you want. They're 11-4. Say whatever you want. They're on top of the NFC North. Say whatever you want. And then they're probably going to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Oh, they're going to the playoffs. I mean, 11 wins. It'd be really hard for them not to. Even if they don't finish the season strong, they have 11 wins, and they are right now a game and a half ahead of Green Bay. That's pretty awesome.
I mean, what a first year for Ben Johnson, right? I mean, now you have everybody buying in him now for the future. He can always lean back on this year of, how to believe we can always win, right? So you're always going to be preaching that to your team. But I'll go back to Cairo real quick because I do want to talk about it. The reason why I believe in him is he's kicked in that stadium for a long time. And when you get there in December, it's hard. He's had a lot of games in there, and then I didn't realize it was going to be that windy the entire time. And he's been down there during the week to practice in it. He's played in a lot of games. It is not a fun place to play in December when the wind's blowing like that. And the thing is, you have to have a lot of confidence. Man, he hit a 46-yard cut, Olin, and a 51-yard draw. That's how good he is. He can make the ball.
I don't talk
move
about kickers, man, but I'm talking about him tonight.
I know, and he just that's what's
impressive.
About
him tonight. And Richard Hightower, take a bow, right? His special teams today, just fantastic. A really good game. And I apologize to the listener right now because usually I watch the game here to give you good feedback. I am not going to rewatch that game because they did not play good most of the game.
No.
Right? Maybe I rewatch it and talk about it Monday morning with Mully. But I'm just going to, if the listener doesn't mind, Pat and Mully, I'm going to enjoy the win. I don't want to rewatch three and more quarters of bad football from the Chicago Bears who found a way to win the football game. And I guess you just go back to, man, Cairo, right? The special teams and the defense keeping them out of the end zone. Just keeping them from scoring touchdowns, whether it be, that fourth down stop down there or just on and on kicking, making them kick field goals, keeping the Bears in the game somehow. Tom was even talking about the mismanagement of the game clock there when they had to get on the field, Pat. I'd like to hear you talk about that and kick the field goal before the 2-minute warning. And it took a while, but I think it was a substitution. The refs just stood in front of him anyway, but couldn't get the ball off. And then they were forced with 2 timeouts to kick the onside kick. They're basically forced to do it, and they did it, and they recover it, and they hustle down there, get the ball, and then the offense finds a way to score 2 touchdowns all of a sudden out of nowhere. And I don't even know, guys, if you told this story over and over again and didn't have the proof, it didn't have the video, I don't think anybody would believe you.
No, it's just we're lucky to see it, man. This is one you won't forget. This is one you'll not forget for a long, long time. I mean, especially it's the Bears-Packers. So this will go up there, you know, it'll go right down as one of the better Bears-Packers games ever around. But just and hopefully it ends up with a great season for the Bears, and you go look back at this one and you say, hey, remember that time we beat the Packers in overtime when you weren't supposed to do that? Oh, it was just unbelievable. So Olin, I'll break down that play real quick, because that might be the first time I think I've seen Ben Johnson or his coaching staff mismanage time. And Olin, the point you said there about the referees, it could have been their fault. It could have been, I've been in those situations where they're taking too much time over the ball, where you're already hurried up to get ready to snap it. Happened against the 49ers one time before halftime, and I got yelled at by Lovey, and it ended up being, it was the referees were not letting the ball be snapped. But what happens is on the sideline, the assistant special teams coach or the special teams coach will go to the long snapper, go to the kicker and holder, and say, listen, we have to get this ball off before the 2-minute warning. We need it off at 2:06, because you're going to have 3 seconds, 4 seconds for the ball to, you know, after you kick it or whatever, to the clock to run down. The other part is, if you're the snapper or the kind of the leader of the team there, you go to the wings, the defensive players or the backups that come in as the wings and tight ends, and you tell them as well, because the O-line is already out there. So you have to run out there and basically relay to them that this is a mayday situation or hurry field goal situation or whatever their code, hurricane, field goal, whatever it is, so everybody knows to hurry. But to me, I don't know if that happened. I'm not sure if it was the refs, because Cairo was taking his time too. But if that's what happened, if that is not what happened on the sideline, that needs to be fixed and communicated. But I don't want to talk about that, but that's just breaking down that situation. We need to be celebrating the win more than that. But that might be the first time I've seen Ben Johnson have an issue with the clock management, if that's what happened with his coaches.
I got to tell you, I thought early in the game, DJ Moore got hit in the back, and he had to go off and go in the tent. And for him, for that kind of symmetry of the cheap shot on him, and then he catches that touchdown at the end of the game, I felt like that. I mean, I was infuriated by that cheap shot on him. It felt like not since Charles Martin took Jim McMahon and picked him up and threw him. No one will remember that. Go to YouTube. It felt like that cheap a shot, okay? And for him to then catch that touchdown pass, I just thought it was beautiful symmetry. Just a wonderful thing that happened in that game. He took a really bad shot early, and he's there. He caught a pass, and he's in the huddle holding his back. You know, I mean, good for him. He is tough as nails.
Mm-hmm. He is tough as nails, and he plays hard. And we talked about it going to this game, that sometimes, Caleb, just let the ball go, man. DJ will go get it, right? And I know he had that drop that Tom Brady pointed out, that didn't expect the ball to come to him. But that catch at the end of the game, and like you're saying, Mully, I'm sure he was battling some of that back problem that he had, right? He got hit, and he was grabbing his back a lot, and just a bunch of things they all ask him to do, whether it be catching swing passes, running the football, blocking. DJ Moore, just like the rest of his team, right? The identity, we talked about him in pregame, how he hasn't won since high school, right? Just the identity of this football team, a guy who keeps fighting, maybe not make a play, but he's going to eventually make a football play. And they're replaying this throw where the last throw, Caleb's on one leg, and I don't know, he throws it like 60 yards. The guy's just nuts, man. But and then DJ Moore catches it, and Pat, like you've been saying all week, we're saying pregame, be the best quarterback on the field, and I don't think he was most of the game. No, I don't think he was most of the game. No matter what Packers quarterback was in there, by the end of the game, the Iceman cometh, right? The Iceman cometh and shows up at Soldier Field, and you give him that football, man, he's going to find a way to get his team back in the game and run and use his legs. And I don't know, man, the guy's, it's always got to be interesting with him, right? He's got to slide before the first down marker and get it the next play. I don't know, man. I'm running out of things to talk about with this team. You go back through their one-win games, you don't even know what to say about what's going on.
Oh. No, it is crazy. And Olin, the biggest phrase I ever hear you give to people is a football player, and that's what DJ Moore is, man.
Yeah.
He's doing everything. I mean, when they zoomed in on him when he was offsides, I was yelling at the TV because they said number 2 wasn't set. then Tom Brady's starting to explain where he's coming from, and the ball was snapped a little quick, and you just look on his face like, come on, man. Like, I'm trying to do everything. And that's who he is. He's a football player. He does do everything. And it's just, he has the 1 week where he doesn't catch a pass, and then these next 2 weeks he's kind of the stars of the game.
The other thing is, and I, we're not gonna pick. It was a happy outcome. They had so many horrible penalties, like really bad, dumb penalties, like really. The Brisker penalty when he hit Malik Willis was just like, I hope you're happy with that, or I hope you enjoyed it, because it just ruined the bloody game. I mean, there were so many moments like that in the game where they were doing things where you're kind of like, what is that? Now, I don't know about the Booker penalty. That, I guess that is now a penalty, and back in the day that wouldn't have been a penalty. I know the rules have changed. But boy, did he get a lick on that quarterback, and he looked like he was on the canvas and gone. And then when he went out, you were thinking, well, that is, now they don't have their best defensive player, their best offensive player. I mean, we could go through the list of the people missing, and it didn't seem to matter, which was just beyond frustrating. And you're sitting there looking, as you say, LaFleur is actually winning the coaching battle, and obviously the defensive coordinator did a good job. You're just kind of like, this, you got to be kidding me. Like, they're going to lose the playoffs, the division, over something like that seemed so obviously in their favor. Well, I mean, the football god smiled upon them. What can you say?
I mean, it was the first play of the game, right? The personal foul on the kickoff.
Exactly.
I mean, so it's funny what a win will do, right? So I'm sitting there thinking that, I'm mad at those penalties as well, but when you win, it kind of changes the narrative. I'm like, man, they were just playing hard. Those were effort penalties, man. They were playing hard. They were playing aggressive. But the Brisker one was kind of dumb. The ones on Booker, they're questionable. That's an effort penalty, man. You can't get mad at those. I really cannot get mad at those. That's just, he's playing hard. Unfortunately, Malik drops his head a little bit. I mean, he knows to maybe go left or right and not hit him straight head on the head. But it is funny how the narrative changes on those penalties after a win, because we would have been talking really bad about them. And now we're like, I'm thinking, no, that's just effort. They're playing hard. But they came out with a lot of motion. They had 2 penalties early.
Yeah.
Booker had the roughing the passer, and
I
think it was the first series, right? So you had 2 personal fouls in the first 3 or 4 plays, but that's just a lot of effort.
What was DeMarco Jackson doing on that first play? I don't even know.
Oh my God! He got on top.
He was saying, I don't know if he was trying to grab his eyeballs, or I don't know what he was trying to do. And like Pat is saying, like, it's funny now, right? But at the time, it was like,
now it's a good
gosh,
laugh.
the emotion has got to this Chicago Bears team that hasn't been in this situation a lot, right? It's kind of overwhelming for them, and you're watching this game go through all the penalties you're talking about. And the thing I saw that I haven't seen in a lot of Bears games, and the thing they can do, and Coach Ben Johnson has a chance now, and Coach Dennis Allen, and really their whole staff, is coach off of this, Pat, right? And people are going to be more accepting to the fact that, look, I didn't make a lot of plays there. And honestly, I saw more mental mistakes than I saw in the last 4 or 5 weeks. I saw D linemen who were supposed to stunt in the gaps when the Packers, Austin Booker, I saw him one time take the wrong gap and not get in his gap and not rip under and feed the play to the blitzing cornerback. I saw the offensive line, Pat, miss a few blitzes, miss a few linebackers on run plays. So more mistakes than I saw for Chicago Bears. It made the last 3, 4, 5 weeks. But, Coach Hafley, you got to give him credit. And Coach LaFleur, they had a great plan, man. The Chicago Bears just found a way at the end of the day to come out with a win that most of the game, I mean, you guys can go look at the stats if you want. I don't want to read them, but at the most of the game, it just wasn't very good by the Chicago Bears, right? I'm not going to read the stats for our listeners. They can go look at it themselves if they want to see it. The only stat you need is we won and they lost.
Yeah, there's something about beating Green Bay too. As wild as it happened, just the satisfaction of that outcome with what this week meant to everybody, just unbelievable. Just my phone is blowing up.
Can we talk about, I know we're going to bring up something negative, the dumb call that Ben Johnson had on 4th and 1.
Oh, my
God. Dahlman snapped the ball over Mononga. That was just too cute, man. Just way too cute.
Yeah.
That was another one that I thought would carry a lot of weight in the post game if they didn't pull that thing out.
Oh, yeah.
That's
that
just a bad
shocked
call.
them into submission. That was like,
yeah.
They stopped playing
it was,
after that.
And I think, if I remember correctly, at halftime, they said, Coach Johnson said it was a bad call.
Yeah.
It was a bad call by me there, and I took the win out of my team's sails. And you know what I thought to myself when they said that, and obviously that didn't go that way until the end, into overtime, into the onside kick. I thought that's what winning looks like when a coach says that, right? Not like, I like to play and we just got to execute it. No, it was a bad call by me. I shouldn't have made that call. I should have handed the ball off to Mononga. I ran behind Jonah Jackson and Dawn now, right? And took a 7-point lead right there. And then that's pretty simple, right? And let me tell you, as a center, when that play comes in, I'll run it. But I am not saying nice words about the head coach there by the goal line, that he wants me to snap it to a running back through Cole Kmet's legs on a Cole Kmet cadence call. So obviously, I'm sure Dahlman wants to execute that. And, he's the kind of guy who will say that. And I don't know about you, Pat, but I always think to myself, the least you hear about offensive linemen, the better they're playing. And I don't like to pump guys up too much, but I've been really excited and enjoyed watching Dahlman play this year. I think he plays at a high level. I think he does a nice job. I think he hustles down the field, picks up his teammates, seems to be a leader, seems to get the O-line controlled on the right guys, who they have to block, makes big blocks in games, end up being a really good signing by Ryan Poles. And just, man, at that moment there, you're thinking, why do that? With your team's identity, with how physical they were on their first drive. But in Ben Johnson's credit, I don't got to say it. He said it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got to give him credit. Olin, what I was thinking about was the December practices when we're out there in shells and helmets, and that play looks amazing. There's no contact. You don't have to come off the ball. You know what I mean? It's the execution probably looks great just because they're in basically, no pads or whatever, and it's walk through tempo at that time of year. And then that's just not something you call at 4th and 1 in Soldier Field against the Green Bay Packers. That's what I was thinking of. It looked great in practice with no pads on.
Let's put a taller running back there. You know what I mean? I love Mononga. Love him to death. I love Mononga, man. But let's just put a little taller guy back there.
All right, we've got to take time out. The number is 312-644-6767. I'm sure there's a lot of people that are leaving the stadium, that are just in their houses, that are just in a tavern, whatever, enjoying their life. And like I said, my phone is blown up. I got friends from all over the country that are checking it. I think everybody watched that game, and no one can believe it. Just an extraordinary result. Olin, you said they won in overtime. I forgot it went to overtime. I mean, that's how shocked I am sitting here.
We couldn't even get Pat on the damn show. You know what I mean?
I
I don't know what the hell was going on. I was running around my apartment. I've never seen, Mully, I've known him since 1998. I've never seen him miss a thing. We're all rattled tonight. This is a crazy win, man. This was really just, and Pat, I know, it's like, reminds you of the Cleveland Browns and the San Francisco 49ers and Mike Brown, who we call Little Evil, right? Intercepting the ball and running up the tunnel and scoring. But this was versus the Green Bay Packers for the NFC North.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right?
Agreed.
And that when that stadium went crazy, and you know who I'm starting to enjoy, man, is Tom Brady. You can see his personality coming out.
Yeah.
He doesn't want any calls for personal fouls. He loves the fights. He loves the football. He does a great job calling the game.
He sounds
and he
like
said,
you.
man, this stadium is going crazy. Right? His stadium is going crazy. Anyway, what a big win. And Pat said pregame. He said, I feel like I'm a fan. Well, I don't know if I can feel any more like of a fan right now. And I'm trying to be an analyst and talk about the game and mention all the stuff that they did wrong. But, man, what a win for the Chicago Bears and the city of Chicago. And listen, forget about Indiana. Leave the Bears here.
You're listening to the football postgame show.
Tell Kevin Warren, call Governor Pritzker tonight. Call him tonight.
There you go. I bet he got off the couch himself.
Call him tonight.
By TimberTech Decking and Railing and a Turo Tire on the Score.
Plumbers 911 Football Mondays are bigger than ever, with all of our shows joined by an unprecedented team of experts reacting after the games. Plumbers 911 Football Mondays are presented by Busey Bank on Chicago's Sports Radio 670 The Score. Always live on the free Odyssey and iHeartRadio apps.
Hey, football fans, Patrick Manley here. Two things I love, long snapping and an ice cold beer. So I partnered up with my friends at Tighthead Brewing Company to create Long Snapper IPA. It's a delicious West Coast style IPA with caramel malt flavors perfectly balanced with earthy pine and grapefruity citrus hop aromas. Find Long Snapper IPA wherever fine craft beer is sold and enjoy one on game day or at your next tailgate. Stop by our brewery in Mundelein or find Long Snapper IPA at all Chicago football home games. For exclusive Long Snapper merch, visit tightheadbrewing.com. Long Snapper IPA, worth more than a try.
Hey, it's Coach Wanstead. When I need a perfect getaway, I head to Four Winds Casinos in New Buffalo and South Bend. My wife and I love the first-class treatment they give you. The staff, from the valet to the dealers, are absolutely incredible. The hotel rooms are first class, the live entertainment is next level, and the food is out of this world. Whether you're playing your favorite table games or just watching the games at the sportsbook bar, it's always a guarantee win. Four Winds Casinos in New Buffalo and South Bend. Your entertainment and sports escape. Tell them Coach Wanstead sent you.
Hey, Chicagoland, it's Zach Zaidman. The season of performance is here at McGrath Acura of Westmont, where precision meets excitement this holiday season. Hurry in and make every drive feel like a celebration. Lease a 2025 Acura ADX front-wheel drive for $209 a month for 36 months. But don't wait. The season of performance event ends January 5th. Visit McGrath Acura of Westmont on Ogden Avenue today.
When you do the math, you choose McGrath.
Excludes taxes, titles, license, and fees to well-qualified lessees. See dealer for details. Expires 1/5/26.
What defines tough? It's a brain tumor that steals your control, but never your courage. What defines tough? It's a surgeon, steady and exact, navigating neural pathways, removing a mass to restore fine muscle control. What defines tough? At Loyola Medicine, it's more than what we do. It's who we are. Visit loyolamedicine.org/tough to learn more.
For 75 years, one Chicago family has helped families across generations celebrate the season with something meaningful and remembered.
I'm constantly meeting people that my dad or my grandparents have taken care of over the years, and it's so special to hear those stories so many generations in between.
It's one thing to have a name over a door that has existed for 75 years, but to be owned and operated by the same family for 75 years is something that is very powerful and unique.
This season, discover gifts chosen by a family that thoughtfully selects every collection for its craftsmanship, quality, and lasting value. Whether it's an engagement, anniversary, or holiday gift, there's always something special at Rasney's. 3 generations, one Chicago family. 75 years of celebrating moments that matter most. Rasney Jewelers, Suburban Addison, Highland Park, Hinsdale, and Chicago Oak Street. And always at rasney.com.
Dwayne Blanchard Home Services. We'll fix it with a smile.
I wanted furnace tuna for Christmas.
You want a furnace tuna for Christmas? What in the world is a furnace tuna? Oh, you mean a furnace tune-up from Dwayne Blanton Home Services. Right now, through December 31st, Dwayne Blanton is offering a $59 furnace tune-up.
$59.
Call today to schedule that great pricing. For $59, Dwayne Blanton Home Services of the northern suburbs of Chicago will come out to your home, optimize your furnace for these cold Chicago winters.
$59.
And do it for only $59. Give a great gift to your family, yourself, your home, and your furnace with a $59 furnace tune-up. Tune-up.
Dwayne Blanton Home Services. We'll fix it with a smile.
Pain has a way of stealing the moments that matter most, especially during the holidays. It's not just your knees, your back, or your shoulder. It's time with family and friends. But 2026, that could all change when your body remembers how to heal. Dr. Ashley Caravelli and her team at QC Kinetics here in Chicago believe relief doesn't have to come from surgery or pain pills. They use your body's own natural healing abilities to repair and restore what's been lost. It's your body's comeback story, powered by the very cells that built you in the first place. It's time to take that first step, literally, to walk and dance and enjoy the holidays without pain. With QC Kinetics, healing is within reach, easy with weekend appointments. Schedule your free consultation. Now's a great time to use your HSA and FSA for treatments. Call 312-847-4347. That's 312-847-4347. QC Kinetics, 312-847-4347.
37.
Guys, thanks for helping me carry my Christmas tree.
Zoe, this thing weighs a ton.
Drewski, lift with your legs, man.
Santa! Did you get my letter?
He's talking to you, Bridges.
I'm not that.
Of course he did. Right, Santa?
You know, my elf Drewski here, he handles the nice list.
An elf? I'm 6'3". What everyone wants is iPhone 17. And at T-Mobile, you can get it on them. That center stage front camera is amazing for group selfies. Right, Mrs. Claus?
I'm Mrs. Claus's much younger sister. And at T-Mobile, there's no trade-in needed when you switch. So you can keep your old phone.
Or give it as a gift.
And the best part? You can make the switch to T-Mobile from your phone in just 15 minutes.
Guys, my side of the tree is slipping.
Timber!
The holidays are better at T-Mobile. Switch in just 15 minutes and get iPhone 17 on us with no trade-in needed.
With 24 monthly bill credits for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Finance agreement 256 gigs, $830. Eligible port in a new line. $100 plus a month plan with autopay plus taxes and fees required. Check out in 15 minutes or less per line. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Bulls fans, Chuck Swirsky here. Join Bill Weddington and me for all the high-flying action of every Bulls game on 670 The Score and the Fitzgerald Equipment Bulls Radio Network powered by Heli Forklifts. Bulls win! What a ball game! See red, Chicago.
The Bears take down the Packers at Soldier Field to stay atop the NFC North. Keep it here as the Score team breaks down the game. Plus, we'll have your reaction too, right here on Chicago's Sports Radio 670 The Score. Broadcasting live from the Hyundai Studios. Presented to you in part by your local Hyundai dealers. WSCR Chicago, WBMX HD2 Chicago, and Odyssey Sports Station.
The Score!
There's Love. Blitz is picked up. Personally gets smoked. And there's a penalty on the play. He stepped right into Austin Booker, and Love is hurt. Oh, man, he took a shot.
Wow. Stepping up to...
Oh, man.
Oh, man. Tough hit. See Booker coming in.
Oh.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense number 94. The 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
I mean, that's not debatable. He put his head down and smacked him in the head, and now you just hope that Love's okay. Penalty on Chicago, but more concern for Jordan Love.
Welcome back to the football postgame show presented by TimberTech Decking and Railing and Aturo Tire. And that is the hit of the game, sponsored by Estwing Professional Tools, made in the USA for over 100 years, estwing.com. I guess technically it doesn't count, but it knocked Jordan Love out. Seemed like it may have knocked him unconscious, and it knocked him out of the game for sure. So that was the hit of the game. I don't know what would have happened if Love had stayed in. Malik Willis played a very good football game and is a different type of player, and Tom Brady made the point. I thought it was an excellent point that the Bears hadn't practiced at all for a quarterback that was a dual threat, and were expecting a different guy behind center. It probably, you would think that would help your game, but it doesn't matter. The Bears won in overtime. That's where we're going with this. There were a series of extraordinary events, and then they ended up with a victory. So I don't know why he was complaining.
They fumbled a center quarterback exchange.
Yes.
You know, I mean, just think all the little. I mean, I understand it's a backup quarterback and a center. Yes. They don't get to do that all the time, but just think about that. I mean, just all the things that have to go right.
Quarterback and backup center, right? So they never.
Yes.
Oh yeah. So like Elton Jenkins snapped all camp. So Ryan was, I don't know how many snaps he took before he became their starting center. So just like you're saying, Pat, I mean, just so many the events, and Pat just sent us a tweet from a guy on Twitter with all the Bears games, and you just got to go through all of them this year, man. It's been quite the run. It's been quite a year.
Wow.
Yeah, it's hard to believe. I mean, it's just here. I'll read it. Warren Sharp on Twitter. He's Bears were down 16-6 with 2 minutes left versus Green Bay, won 22-16. Down 20-10 with 4 minutes left against the Giants, won 24-20. Down 42-41 with 20 seconds left against Cincinnati, won 47-42. Down 17-16 with 10 seconds left versus Minnesota, won 19-17. Down 24-19 with 2 minutes left versus Las Vegas, won 25-24. Down 24-16 with 11 minutes left versus Washington, won 25-24. That's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And yet you got to give them credit, right, for making those plays at the end of games, right? Whether it be the Bengals game when he hit Colston Loveland with a good pass and Colston Loveland breaks tackles and scores, right? And just the amount of plays you'd have to go back and obviously watch them all to see the amount of plays that Caleb has made and Ben Johnson has called, and these guys are playing every game and competing and coming up with takeaways. And Nashawn Wright does it again, right? Pulls the ball out down there on a 3-yard line. What is that guy's numbers right now, right, in the season? I'm sure it's crazy what he's done. And, if they score there and or kick a field goal, you don't come back to tie or win this game. So just unbelievable things that went on during this game. But yet the Chicago Bears, somebody like Cairo Santos or Nashawn Wright or DJ Moore, they got to make the play to keep you there.
Yeah. How about Nashawn getting that ball down at the goal line? That was extraordinary. And I want to say it was Tremaine Edmonds who fell on the ball. Great to have that guy back as well. So really just the number of plays that had to happen, the way they had to happen, just kind of an extraordinary end of the game. All right, we've got a ton of people who want to check in. 312-644-6767. Let's start with Kevin. He's in Lockport. Hey, Kevin.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Great.
I heard you guys talking about Mike Brown. He was my favorite Bear. Those games against San Fran and Cleveland, some of my favorite memories of all time. So had a huge party today, bunch of friends over, and my friend goes, all the Bears need to do is kick the field goal, get the onside kick, and score a touchdown.
Called it.
And I go, well, why don't they just go for two? And he goes, no. You always complain, Caleb, you didn't like his scouting report about hero ball. He'll throw a hero ball. Lo and behold.
Wow.
We kicked the field goal.
Have that guy call in.
We kicked the onside kick. We get it. We scored the touchdown, kicked the extra point, and in overtime, he starts playing We Need a Hero, that Disney song, and Caleb throws a 60-yard pass, and we're all jumping up and down going, I go, I guess he is the hero. We need a hero. He is our hero. He has completely won me over. Super Bears, Super Bowls. Never been more excited in my entire life.
Thanks so much for the call, Kevin. That's great. Yeah, I think a lot of people feel that way. I think a lot of people feel like a lot of things had to happen, and lo and behold, they all happened.
They did. And interesting, he didn't go for two.
Yeah.
What was your thoughts on that? Did you think he was going to go for two?
Olin, did you?
No, I didn't think in that.
Yeah.
I just thought the offense wasn't. You know what I mean? Like they weren't in this rhythm, this groove where you felt like they were dominating the Packers defense. I didn't think they'd go for two there if they scored.
I thought that
especially with Malik Willis at quarterback.
That's what I was thinking too.
That's what I mean. I felt like they were going to win the game once they came back and did that. It would have been really anticlimactic had that not happened. So I kind of felt like that was going to happen. And I got to say, when that fumble, the fumbled snap ended their that was on 4th and 1, I believe. And T.J. Edwards cleaned out Malik Willis the play before that. It was a great play. I felt like just looking at all the Packer offensive players trying to claim the Bears were defensively offside. It was a fumbled snap, man. Nobody hit anybody or did anything untoward. It was just like seeing that desperation was really fun. It was just nice to see a Green Bay team kind of scrambling around like, oh, my God, we just blew it. And they did. So that was great.
That was great because you were thinking we were watching the same story we've been watching over the last 15 years, right? And it's like all of a sudden it flipped and we got the onside kick and we got the momentum and we got the breaks to go our way and we started making the plays. And like you're saying, Mully, they're scrambling around and they're fumbling snaps and they're finding ways to lose that football game, which doesn't really happen much, Pat.
No. And we had the quarterback to make the throw. You know what I mean? We haven't had that either. At the end of the game, make that just the hero throw he was talking about.
Incredible.
You know, during the break, you go back and I was watching some of the highlights that I don't know what was better, the throw or the catch. I mean, both were unbelievable. I mean, you had Nixon all over DJ. He slows down just enough. Hands, basically were in his basket, his hand basket, or whatever you want to call it, where the ball's coming down. He still makes the catch. But to make that throw as well is just it's incredible, man. And it's just a lot of credit to Caleb and his belief. I listened to his post-game interview with Tom Rinaldi as well. And he's poised after the game. He's saying the right things, and he said the word belief. He said we believe, and it's trickling through the entire team, and it was a fun game to watch, and that belief is real, man. They're making it happen.
Well, it was a fun 10 minutes to watch.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's all I remember. It was a miserable game to watch.
That's all
I was miserable on my couch.
I don't remember that part. I blacked out during the game, but you're so right. There's so many awful moments, but the last 10 minutes were beyond glory. It was just extraordinary. It was like watching
I've never thought so many times in my life, you got to be effing kidding me. Watching the first three. Anyway, like you're saying, Mully, who cares? Who cares?
Yeah, I moved around to 5 different spots. I was up off the couch. I was I couldn't sit still. I had to get. Then I was like, "Is this the lucky spot?"
I had my wife and my daughter were sitting there with me, and I kept duh, what? Yeah, I was trying very hard not to go blue, and every time I did, they were alarmed because they were on their phones. Then at the end of the game, the DJ Moore play, everybody's jumping up and down in the living room. What? So now you're into it. The end of the game captured everybody's imagination. It was just extraordinary.
As you guys know, my family was there, and the family text chain is extraordinary, right?
Oh,
just going through the emotions of, you got to be kidding me. Is this really what's going to happen? They can't beat them with all these guys out. I mean, just like the game's over, and all of a sudden it just changes, right? And everybody's like, let's go. Wow, amazing. Unbelievable, man.
You sent them to one of the greatest sporting events they'll ever see, Nolan. That's unbelievable.
Hey, Mully, make sure they're probably listening to us, so they're in the car. Make sure you tell them again what I did for them.
There is.
Merry Christmas.
I will. I know. It's really all about winning trophies. I'm nominating Olin Kreutz as Father of the Year right now. On radio.
I'll put that right next to my Piccolos, Pat.
There you
go. It, guys.
That's beautiful.
What a game, man. What a game. The Chicago Bears continue to do it. I'm actually going to put myself through it and rewatching a little bit here, and just some of these things are unbelievable.
Damon is at the game. Let's get to Damon. Hey, Damon.
What's up, guys? How are you?
Tell us about the atmosphere. That crowd must have been on a roller coaster.
So you walk into the place, and it's buzzing like it hasn't been buzzing since 2006. I mean, it was mayhem, right? And then for 50 minutes, we watched some of the worst football we've seen all season. I'm texting my friends, the season's over, it's done, same old Bears. And then the impossible happens. But I want to tell you just a quick story. There was a guy who sat next to me who drove in from Ottawa to his first Bears game ever. His dad died this year. 14 hours he drove in. He's driving home tomorrow. And when the game was over, he was weeping. And people in my section were crying and hugging like the Bears won the Super Bowl. I mean, it was electric. It was one of, I called you guys last week and I said one thing. It's our turn. And we were screaming at the Packers fans. It's our turn. I tell you, women and children and adults were crying and hugging. People who I've been sitting with in section 133 for over 20 years were breaking down because we believe. And hope is a dangerous thing, as Red said from Shawshank. But we've got it, and baby, it's our turn. We're back.
I love it, David. Thank you. Oh. Wow. That's beautiful.
When you quote Red from Shawshank Redemption, you now, hey, get busy living or get busy dying.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Man, so good, though. I mean, that is what that win does, though. And like we said, Pat, we played in games where you beat them by a field goal in 1999 with Brian Robinson blocking in his hit. But in this situation, right, where both teams are fighting for the NFC North, fighting for their playoff lives, all the losing and all the winning Matt LaFleur has done against us, and to come back and make them make mistakes and had that fumble snap, as Pat mentioned, and recovered the onside kick, and then the quarterback, under pressure, off of one leg, backing up, whips the ball. I think the second after he threw the ball, he warmed his hands up. That's how cool that guy is in that moment, right? Throws the ball. The thing is traveling in the air, and he's got his hands in the hand warmer before the DJ even catches the ball. Like, I don't know, man. That was. I don't know if I've ever seen a game quite like that.
I'll tell you what. The Ja'Day Walker, I was just going to say, that Ja'Day Walker touchdown was phenomenal.
Yes.
That was such a big play and such a big moment, and it's lost because of the other throw. What an unbelievable finish to that game.
And it looked like a throwaway. Like, almost looked like he was throwing it away. And then I'm like, wait, there's Ja'Day Walker. Obviously, the defender fell down. And then what a great job of getting his 2 feet in bounds. I mean, that was a perfect pass, perfect catch. That's 2 of them, right? The one to DJ, the perfect pass, perfect catch. The one to Ja'Day Walker, perfect. But what I wanted to say about this, too, guys, the win here, we've been talking about a culture change in Chicago and changing the culture at Haugh Hall and all that kind of stuff. And when they lost to the Packers 2 weeks ago, there were a lot of people saying, same old Bears, same old Bears, same old Bears. And I think a lot of people were saying that for 4 quarters or almost 3.5 quarters, same old Bears. Maybe the culture hasn't changed. Well, that changes a lot right there.
Right.
The belief is there. They got it done. You got a quarterback who came through at the end again and wins the game. And to me, that's changing the culture. And that's putting a lot of that's putting a lot on that culture change right there. And that means a lot to that Bears and the Bears organization, what Ben Johnson's brought to them.
Yeah, to your point, Pat, we talk about when Ryan Poles is going to draft Caleb Williams. He went on a podcast, and they asked him about people saying that Caleb didn't want to come to Chicago, and he said it pissed me off because we were hired to change a cycle, right? To change the way the losing's been going on here, the way the Chicago Bears haven't been winning, haven't been going to the playoffs, haven't been winning playoff games, and just as important, haven't been able to beat the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah.
Right. And like you're saying, Pat, I mean, everyone's thinking what you and Mully are saying. Like, here we go again.
Yep.
Can't believe it. I can't believe what I'm watching here, like with all this that the Packers are going through. But these Chicago Bears keep fighting, keep going, and then just a really, really like incredible couple throws, just a talent that he has to actually do the things that he did at the end of the game. In a game in which Coach Hafley had his number, right? The defense coordinator for the Packers. Had him struggling. He was calling plays, calling blitzes, had the Bears number for a long time, man. And we find 2 scores at the end of the game, find an onside kick, find a fumble snap. I don't know. There's a lot of presents out there on the field. Santa came early, dropped off a bunch of presents for the Chicago Bears, and he found a way to beat the Green Bay Packers.
I go back to the Pope because the White Sox won the first overall pick in the MLB draft. The Bulls have actually beaten Cleveland twice in a week, and now the Bears come with that thing. I don't know. I don't even know what to think about it. But that was one, as you say. I mean, my God, the things that had to happen. And, we haven't talked about, and I don't even know if it's relevant, but Malik Willis, they had the ball with like 20 seconds left or something, and Sweat not only sacked him, he kind of landed on him on his right shoulder, and he looked like he was trying to – they said that on TV, they said that it looked like he was trying a different type of pass on the sideline. It looked like he hurt his shoulder a little bit in that moment. I mean, it didn't really come into play because they managed to get like a 30-yard play in the overtime. But nonetheless, that was a nice little moment, too, at the end of the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's good to see Montez Sweat come through at the end. And I mentioned him in the pregame, right? I wanted to see him. And there's some times I texted you. I'm like, where's Sweat? Where's Sweat? And then, there's times he showed up. So that's what he gets paid for, to be the closer, right? And he closed out the end of the game to give them. I know there was the chance to probably score there was limited, but he did his job.
It's just good to see. That's all.
Yes.
All right, we've got to take a quick time out. We come back, we'll hear from Ben Johnson. We'll get back to the phone lines, 312-644-6767. But we've got some Ben Johnson for you as well. You are listening to the football postgame show presented by TimberTech Decking and Railing and Turo Tire.
The Bears win. They beat the Packers at Soldier Field to move to 11-4 and remain in first place in the NFC North.
Watching downfield, going for it all. It is caught. Bears win it. DJ Moore.
Stick around as all of our shows and team of Bears experts dissect this mega divisional win from every angle and take you inside the locker room. Plus, we'll look ahead to their next matchup as the Bears head west to take on the 49ers in a Sunday night showdown here on Chicago's Sports Radio, 670 The Score. Always live on the free Odyssey and iHeartRadio apps.
Roofers and Waterproofers Local 11 provides quality value and service in all facets of the commercial, industrial, and institutional roofing and waterproofing industry, promoting skilled craftsmen and craftswomen through apprenticeship training. Local 11 members are trained in the application of the latest roofing and waterproofing techniques. They're at the forefront of design and installation of environmental friendly solar, green, and garden systems. To find a highly skilled roofing contractor today, go to ChicagoRoofingContractors.org.
Introducing Remy Martin's This Is My City VSOP Limited Edition Collection, paying homage to the iconic sounds, style, and teams of our very own Chicago. The collection celebrates the city's influence on culture and features Remy Martin's renowned VSOP liquid. This limited edition bottle is available now, and you can learn more at RemyMartin.com. Remy Martin VSOP Cognac, 40% alcohol by volume, imported by Remy Cointreau, USA, New York, New York. Please drink responsibly.
Hey Chicago fans, Patrick Manley here. It's time to kick off your deck project with TimberTech, a real decking all-star. TimberTech is the #1 brand in premium decking. It delivers real wood looks without the hassle of costly maintenance, and it will never rot, warp, splinter, or peel. Plus, with industry-leading warranties, you know your deck will perform at the top of its game season after season. Discover why TimberTech is Chicago's MVP of decking and railing. Order free samples at timbertech.com.
It's that time of year again, hockey season and cold weather. As a proud partner of the Chicago Blackhawks and Chicago's hometown tire, Atturo knows just what drivers need for this climate. Check out the new all-weather category of tires available from Atturo. Offering year-round performance, all-weather tires are your safest bet for any season. Get your vehicle ready for winter with a new set of Atturo tires. Visit Atturo.com to find performance within reach at your local independent Atturo tire dealer.
Hey, it's Layla Rahimi for FanDuel Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of 670 The Score. FanDuel is the #1 sportsbook for same-game parlays. From points and rebounds to threes and assists, FanDuel is the best place to combine your favorite picks into a same-game parlay or track every stat live, all in one very easy-to-use app. And right now is the perfect time to join because new customers get $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. Now that's what I call a return on investment. So bet on the players you love the way you want. Head to FanDuel.com/Layla, Leila, to sign up today. FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. 21 and up and present in Illinois. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit is required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, this is Coach Wanstead here. And then pairs you with your own personalized arch support solution. If you're someone who's in pain, learning if Good Feet arch supports will work for you is as easy as going in for a free fitting and test walk. You can even use HSA or FSA account to purchase your arch supports. Get back to doing things that you love. Try for yourself and feel the difference. It all starts with one visit to your Good Feet store. Schedule your free fitting and test walk at goodfeet.com or just stop by the store nearest you with locations in Skokie, Schaumburg, Algonquin, Geneva, Naperville, Orland Park, and Highland, Indiana.
Hey football fans, Patrick Manley here. Two things I love, long snapping and an ice cold beer. So I partnered up with my friends at Tighthead Brewing Company to create Long Snapper IPA. It's a delicious West Coast style IPA with caramel malt flavors perfectly balanced with earthy pine and grapefruity citrus hop aromas. Find Long Snapper IPA wherever fine craft beer is sold and enjoy one on game day or at your next tailgate. Stop by our brewery in Mundelein or find Long Snapper IPA at all Chicago football home games. For exclusive Long Snapper merch, visit tightheadbrewing.com. Long Snapper IPA, worth more than a try.
Whether you're gifting, decorating, or treating yourself, Lowe's December deal drops are here to help you save more all month long. Get up to 75% off select holiday decor. Plus, get up to 45% off select tools and accessories. Shop new December deal drops every week this month and get so much more out of your holidays. Lowe's, we help, you save. Selection varies by location while supplies last.
Estwing, unmatched tools for tough jobs and outdoor adventures. These USA-made axes, splitting tools, and machete are built to last, crafted and fully forged by American workers for over a century. Estwing delivers reliable gear for hunting, camping, and splitting firewood at your home. Experience the power and quality of American craftsmanship. Available at leading sporting goods and hardware retailers. Estwing, made in the USA for over 100 years. Learn more at estwing.com.
Just in time for the holidays, Chevy Red Tag is out at your local Chevy dealer, and you can save big with 0% APR financing on all Chevy Silverado 1500 models. It doesn't get any lower than zero. Go to Chevy Drives Chicago for details, and together, let's drive.
On the fake, Williams looking downfield, launching downfield, going for it all! And it is caught! Bears win it! DJ Moore!
They go for the jugular! DJ Moore on the full field post off play action. Mixon, an absolutely 10 out of 10 A-plus throw for Caleb Williams. He knew it when he let it go. That ball's in the air a long time. He's thinking, go get it, DJ. Go track it down, big guy. The throw of Caleb Williams' life, the catch of DJ Moore's life. What a scene.
One of the most improbable wins in regular season history. A walk-off for the Bears.
Welcome back to the football post-game show presented by TimberTech Decking and Railing and Aturo Tire. We've got the perennial Pro Bowler Olin Kreutz, the great captain of the Bears. We've got Patrick Manley. He is the longest-serving member of the team. Played over 47 years. It's hard to believe. He started as a child.
I played today's game. It was great.
He did. He finished up and got right back on the air.
That's why I was late.
You were celebrating in the locker room.
Yeah.
That was just something amazing. I don't even know what to say about it. Like I said, they did win in overtime, in case you forgot. It was the final score is 22-16. Which is pretty extraordinary since they trailed 16-6 late in the fourth quarter. But no matter, no problem. Everything covered. Do you want to hear from Ben Johnson?
Yes, please. Yes.
Let's give Ben a quick spin. Hear what he said in the postgame.
So the one guy that didn't make it at the end there was CJ. He had a knee, so we'll see what that looks like, and we'll take it from there. But, you know, I told the guys in the locker room, and I'll reiterate it, is just this is a special group. I felt that early in the season. You know, you get with some of those wins, the Raiders game and, you know, the Washington game, and, you know, and you start feeling it, the belief coming, and this just doesn't – this group, I'm talking about coaches and players combined, it's rare. It really is. And I can't say enough good things about the people in this building. You know, Ryan's done a great job bringing this collection of people together. And, man, they're mentally tough. They're physically tough. I know we're going to fight you for 60 minutes. And in a game like that, even though the odds are against us there that late, you know, we're going to keep on swinging and make some plays when we needed to. So I couldn't be more proud of the group. I mean, I'm very fortunate to be in the position I'm in, coaching these guys, and not something I take for granted. So I'll go ahead and open it up from there.
That final pass to DJ come to life from the origin stages to being executed there on the final play.
The final play, yeah, I mean, that was one that we put in. And we ran in practice on Thursday, and it almost looked identical to that. I thought Caleb threw a dime in practice, and DJ came down with it. And, you know, we're hopeful that it may or may not be there. But, we timed that one up right. DJ ran a great route, and Caleb threw him a great ball. But I think it's also a testament to our preparation over the course of the week. I think the coaches do a great job coming up with good ideas to put our guys in good spots. And then when you go out and you execute it on the practice field, it does become game day reality for us.
How do you describe your emotions in those final 3 minutes of regulation and the overtime and the big swing?
I mean, my emotion, I try to keep them in check and steady Eddie. I was having some headset issues there at the end, and so that got the better of me at the end. But other than that, I try to stay conscious of what's going on. And, my job on game day is to not only just call the offensive plays, but make sure that we're managing our timeouts correctly and the penalties and everything of that nature. And so it's hard to do that if I get too emotionally up and down. That's just what I've learned about myself over the years. So, like I said, though, I mean, I love it for these guys. I think they just did a phenomenal job here tonight.
Was TJ the first option on that touchdown play? That was he was kind of trying to explain.
Well, we had a lot of answers. That's one of those plays that we felt like, depending on the coverage, it would change who the primary receiver was going to be. And so the play before, they cover zeroed us, and Caleb was aware of that, and they came back on 4th down and did the same thing, cover zero, and on that particular play, Jade was our zero answer.
What was it like seeing a guy like that, he hasn't caught too many passes this year, just him coming through there and Caleb coming through with the blitz, with the pressure? What was that like?
Yeah, I mean, I that's why we do what we do over the course of the season, though. And I know, to the people that haven't been in the building, it's like, oh my gosh, you're going to the undrafted rookie on 4th down. Well, we see what he does every single week. We see how he goes about his business. There's a reason why we didn't want to expose him to the waiver wire and someone poach him after the preseason. We see a bright future for this guy, and he's done nothing but steadily improve over the course of the season. The coaches trust him. Caleb trusts him. And so when it's a big moment like that and you're not sure exactly what coverage they're going to be in, as I described the play, anybody could get that ball depending on what they call. I had a lot of confidence that he was going to come down and get it, and so does Caleb. So that's where we're at as a team right now. I feel like everyone trusts that whoever's out there on game day, they're going to come through for us. It doesn't matter who it is at this point.
That is the voice of Ben Johnson. Did you guys see the handshake with the flower? Did they have a nice moment?
I didn't see it.
Did Sean, the flower he was so emotional after losing Micah Parsons. It was almost like he fell into Sean Payton's shoulder and was weeping. I don't know how he reacted with Ben Johnson.
But like when he talked about Jade Walker, I find that like really interesting, because what he's saying is like, look, we coached these guys up all week, and that's what we said about like Ozzie Trapillo, right? Like,
yes,
Ozzie Trapillo was ready to play. Jade Walker, like, we're going to come to you if the coverage and the blitz dictates it. We are coming to this young rookie who everybody wonders why he's on the roster, and that's the kind of year they're having, Pat, where the decisions they make are working out. But it's not like it's just working out, right? It's like they're planning for it to work out. They're coaching these guys up in practice. They're letting them know, like, look, get ready, because if it's cover zero, the ball's coming to you, and make the play.
And that's great coaching. I mean, that's telling guys what the situation is going to be or can be, and having them prepared and ready for it. That a lot of coaches can't get that far in their coaching, and that's what great coaches can do. The other thing I took out of that was he talked about being a special group, and I just thought about different locker rooms, Olin, that we've been in. And some were better than others. We did have a good locker room for a lot of years, but some were better than others. And it does help when you have wins like that. But when you talk about a special group, it's one where kind of everybody likes everybody. Everybody's talking to everybody. Long snappers are talking to DNs. DNs are talking to wide receivers, to all the way across the building, to trainers, to everybody. Everybody's hanging out and they're just comfortable, and it's just a different feeling. And it's nice to hear that. And that does help on game day. That's part of the belief as well. But I know what he's talking about, that special group, and that just kind of gave me chill bumps when he was talking about that, because Olin, that took me back to the locker room and just made me think about those years that they were a little different. Sometimes some of them were just a little different.
Let's get back to the phone lines. We have a lot of people who want to check in. 312-644-6767. We'll start with Scott. He's in Mount Prospect. Hey, Scott.
Hey, gang. I appreciate you staying up late tonight. This is a Saturday going into church tomorrow. Hey, first off, let's not forget that ISU.
Yeah, I heard they were winning big. Yeah, that's great.
Oh, no, they took care of that. And I believe in 2000, the Bears attributed the last ISU national championship, although they lost, but Georgia Southern gave Adrian Peterson to the Bears. So hopefully the Bears can attribute something from this journey. I want to talk to the centers, mainly, Patrick and Olin. I watched Texas A&M today, and there were a bunch of missed field goals. And then today, obviously, the win was a factor. Is there a rule or something to prohibit you from snapping it sideways, or just giving your kicker a little bit of an advantage to maybe kick a rubberneck, a fishneck, something to give him the advantage? Because does it have to be straight back?
Well, you do that for protection reasons. Sometimes in college you'll take a lineman and overload him to the side just because the hashes are different between the college and the pros. So it depends on that, but no, you normally want it straight behind because of the protection. Unless you would maybe do that if you took a lineman and moved him from the right side to the left side, then you can move the holder to the left side, but you don't do that for protection reasons.
Pat, would you like to snap between Cole Kmet's legs and maybe? I mean, you would put the laces perfectly. You were renowned for your perfect
If I didn't have to block somebody 300 pounds in front of me and come off the ball, that's what I just don't get. That's why I described. Like I was just thinking about, man, that probably looked great on Thursday or Friday when they installed it, and they're just in helmets, and you're not coming off the ball and having to hit somebody. It's easy to do that. But then you get the cold, the wind, and the situation of the game, and you got a nose guard right in front of you. Dahlman's got it's a little different. It's just a lot different.
I tell Cole Kmet to back up a little bit too, Cole. Like really close to Dahlman, man. You know what I mean? Like, give me a break. I don't know. I mean, just hey, like we talked about, Pat. Credit Ben Johnson for saying not a good call.
Yeah,
just a bad call by him, and credit to him. And when you have a coach who will say something like that, that means a lot to the culture, man. It means a lot to the guys, and that's why you see the guys fighting for him, where he'll take responsibility for a call that, and there were people on Twitter defending his call and just saying stuff like, they got to make the snap there, and those are people who've never put pads on and try to snap a ball, but they will say that about a center sometimes, but, it's just, it's good to have, and I'm sure Dahlman on the other side is saying, I got to make that snap, right? I got to get that snap. To Monangai, and that's what a winning team. That's what a winning team does. That's what it looks like, and just like they do. I won't argue with Coach Ben Johnson. They seem to have a special group of guys in that locker room, man. Guys who will fight, continue to believe that they can win football games, and somebody's going to make a play, so they'll have a chance to win the game at the end. And then they have the quarterback at the end who will make the play.
It was a good call by the whoever this coordinator was, and that would be me.
There you go.
Wrong guy. All right.
Our culture is awesome.
We'll be right back to close it out. You're listening to
Tyler wants to put one more of Jennings' highlights on before we go. So hang out.
Yeah, you're listening to the Football Postgame Show.
He texts us like 100 times, can we get him on? I didn't know that's what he wanted to do. Holy moly, man.
I told him it was a bad idea.
Yeah, we're all like, we don't want him. And all these guys are like, no, he works with Danny. What do we care? We got highlights for him.
It's the Football Postgame Show presented by TimberTech Decking and Railing and a Turo Tire. We'll hear from Caleb Williams next.
Hey, go Pack, go the home.
Plumbers 911 Football Mondays are bigger than ever, with all of our shows joined by an unprecedented team of experts reacting after the game. Plumbers 911 Football Mondays are presented by Great Clips on Chicago's Sports Radio 670 The Score. Always live on the free Odyssey and iHeartRadio apps.
250 years ago, a promise was made to connect families and friends near and far.
And during the holidays, that promise is more important than ever. That's why USPS is building a better network to meet your needs with timely deliveries, easy and affordable ways to ship, and everything you need to make your season full of holiday cheer. Our purpose is delivering your peace of mind, knowing your love will arrive, bringing joy to all. The United States Postal Service. Learn more at USPS.com/holidays.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-941-2255. That's 800-941-2255.
Hey, it's Coach Wanstead. You know I love to win, and that's why I love Four Winds Casinos in New Buffalo and South Bend. This place is a total package. A gaming floor with your favorite slots and table games, luxurious hotel rooms, and incredible restaurants. My go-to is the Copper Rock Steakhouse. Everyone is treated first class. Whether you want a weekend of gaming and entertainment or nonstop sports at the Sportsbook Bar, there's something for everyone to enjoy. Head to Four Winds Casinos in New Buffalo and South Bend, your entertainment escape.
Imagine this, a brand new finished basement your family can enjoy right now, and you don't pay a dime until 2028 with Matrix Basement Finishing. Lock in your 2025 pricing today and enjoy your dream basement years before you even make that first payment. Whether it's a home theater, a gym, game room, make your home bigger, better, and more fun without waiting. Your dream space shouldn't have to wait until 2028. MatrixBasements.com. You know, the guys with the X.
Introducing Remy Martin's This Is My City VSOP Limited Edition Collection, paying homage to the iconic sounds, style, and teams of our very own Chicago. The collection celebrates the city's influence on culture and features Remy Martin's renowned VSOP liquid. This limited edition bottle is available now, and you can learn more at RemyMartin.com. Remy Martin VSOP Cognac, 40% alcohol by volume, imported by Remy Cointreau, USA, New York, New York. Please drink responsibly.
When you're betting and find yourself constantly thinking about gambling and you're losing more money than you have, are you really winning? If you're spending too much time with the slots or you can't stop betting on sports and you find yourself feeling overwhelmed, maybe lying, and probably losing more money than you can afford to lose, you're not alone, and you can get help. It's available 24/7 and it's confidential. When your betting has gotten out of hand, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.areyoureallywinning.com. Sponsored by the Illinois Department of Human Services.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-932-5858. That's 800-932-5858. 800-932-5858.
Hey Chicago, it's David Haugh here with some big news. Verizon, America's best 5G network, wants you to bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill and they'll give you a better deal. If you think Verizon is expensive, well, think again. Not only does Verizon let you lock in your low price for 3 years, everyone in the family can mix and match their plans with my plan. And they let everyone get the same great phone deals when they trade in an eligible phone in any condition on my plan. That means new and existing customers. There's more reasons to save, more reasons to switch. Bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill to your local Chicago Verizon store, and they will give you a better deal. Rankings based on Root Metrics Root Score report dated first half
2025. Your results may vary. Must provide a postpaid consumer mobile bill dated within the past 45 days. Bill must be in the same name as the person redeeming the deal. 3-year price lock applies to then current base monthly rate. Additional terms apply to promotional offers. See www.verizon.com/switch-to-verizon/.
This is for all of my listeners who are struggling with hair loss. I'm sure you've tried the lotions, pills, creams, and potions. With so many options and doctors out there, who are you going to trust? What's really going to grow your hair back? The Advanced FUE from Advanced Hair is an incredible breakthrough. Receding hairline, thinning hair, bald spots. Advanced Hair offers a simple, quick, one-day treatment that begins regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And get this, Advanced Hair even guarantees your new hair will grow. It works for men and women across all ages, and Advanced Hair comes highly guaranteed to everyone. For your free consultation, $250 off, and 250 free hair grafts, call 872-217-HAIR. And don't forget to ask about that guarantee. That's 872-217-HAIR. Or for the incredible before and afters, visit advancedhair.com.
Big news from Illinois' largest Ford dealer. Gulf Mill Ford just announced 0% for 66 months on new F-150s, plus make no payments for 3 months. Get 0% for 66 months on F-150s today at this Ford giant. Gulf Mill Ford in Niles.
An entire division on the line in one play. Williams, pressure, throwing, Corey has a man. It is caught! Touchdown! Janae Walker! Unbelievable! Unbelievable is right! Williams with his Steph Curry impression. That fadeaway lobs it up in the air. Miscommunication and coverage. Walker comes down with it.
Yeah, that was a fun play, and congratulations to Janae Walker. Just a great game for him, a guy that was ready when called upon. And it's time for Who's Hot and Who's Cold, sponsored by Plumbers 911. Plumbing emergency, call the professionals, available 24/7 at 1-833-PLUM-911. For hot, we're going with Cairo Santos, 46, 51, 43-yard field goals in an incredibly windy environment. The guy was playing the wind like a golfer. It was extraordinary to see the movement he had on the ball. So he's our hot player. As far as cold is concerned, sadly, it would be the Bears' run defense. It was what would we call it? Pre-bye week run defense in that game. 192 yards rushing. The defensive line was invisible for much of the game, sadly.
They were, and really both lines weren't as dominating as you wanted them to be for a lot of game. And like we talked about, just some of the mistakes I saw just from the offensive line, and you're talking about the defensive line getting moved off the ball. A lot of times by what were backups and the offensive line, combo blocks and stuff. But I wanted to propose something tonight for this amazing win that maybe for the first time ever, the cold will be a great award, and Caleb Williams, the Iceman, at the end of the game when he rubbed like he was cold, maybe he's cold for tonight.
Awesome.
So both awards
are both awards are winners, both the Iceman and the Hot Man. Yeah, that's good.
Yes.
You are really something special.
After a win like that, man, I just feel good. You know what I mean?
There's no negativity, none.
What do they call it? A lot of melatonin flowing through right now. Feeling good.
Yeah. All right, let's take a quick listen to what the quarterback had to say after the game.
These last minute, these come from behind wins that sees the offense and the defense just really turn on 180 during those moments.
I wouldn't say for defense, at least. They held them to 3 throughout the whole game, basically. And so, I think for us, as an offense, I've said it many times, I think everybody just kind of understands where we're at in the game. I think everybody understands what we have to do. And we go out there and we execute. I think it comes down simply to that. I think, we work our tail off throughout the week. We work our tail off, trying to get it going throughout the game. And, those guys get paid over there. They got great coaches, great defensive players, all these things. And I think they had a great plan coming in. I think they did a great job over there. And we made adjustments. And I think the mindset was keep fighting as we always do.
That's you guys ran through that play in practice.
Yep.
When you let the ball out of your hand, what's your feeling in your mind?
Yeah, I knew it was good. You got that belief. You got that confidence. You got that swagger as offense. You practice well. You hit plays like that in practice. I mean, it was pretty identical to practice. And when the play gets called and the moment comes up like that, it's time to go hit it. It's time to go in the game.
That went in this week.
That
particular play went in this week.
Yeah, that play went in this week. Then I was up watching film in his office, and we kind of just went over small details throughout the play. And the next day we came out and discussed it and hit it in practice, like I said, and ended up working out just how we thought.
Describe the explosion around you after everyone noticed that DJ caught the ball.
Yeah, everybody ran the field. The stadium, went live and blew up, and so I'm happy for our guys. I'm happy for Chicago. I'm happy for this moment, and very grateful for it. But we got some other good games coming up, so we'll enjoy it and then move on.
All right, that's pretty good stuff from Caleb Williams. You got to like hearing it. And they got some pretty good games coming up. Next up is the San Francisco 49ers. That will be on Sunday night. The Bears are ready for prime time. They're getting a lot of big play. Any initial thoughts on the Niners?
I just got one that they got another little break here because they play Monday night at the Colts. So they don't get back till Tuesday morning. So they have a short week coming into this Bears game. So I think they're banged up a little bit, but they might be getting some guys back. But I just think that hurts them a little bit as well because you've got a short week after a Monday night game.
Yeah, my initial thoughts is I'm just kind of wondering about C.J. Gardner-Johnson, man. That it did not look good when he got hurt on that touchdown by the Green Bay Packers. And hopefully we get good news because if not, then we're down to our third nickel there. And he's been playing great and doing good against the run and making big plays and been a great addition to the Chicago Bears in a year that Kyler Gordon couldn't stay healthy. So my first thought is, of him and Shanahan finding a way to pick on whoever that nickelback could be.
We want to thank Tyler Buterbaugh for his great work, even though he let everyone down with the Greg Jennings moment.
Thank you, Tyler, man. You're awesome, bro.
Yeah,
we got a special group here.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun.
We do, man. We make a lot of big plays. We believe in each other.
Yes.
We can make every throw. We can make every throw, in case you're wondering.
All right. The Wiener Circle wants to offer us to take our shirts off. Let us know. Whatever we got to do here. All we want to do is feed people.
They said free hot dogs if we leave our shirts on. All right.
Well, man.
Good night, gentlemen. Great night. A lot of fun. Wonderful party.
Let's
unexpected.
Just keep doing it, guys. Somebody call the Bears. Tell them we'll keep doing it.
Absolutely. It's great stuff. All right. We'll be back next week. Stay tuned. Should be another fun one. They never end. Thanks so much for listening. You are listening to your local Ford dealers. You're not listening to the pregame show. You're listening to the football postgame show presented by TimberTech Decking and Railing at Turo Tire on the Score.
Bears win, and this special season continues as they are now 11-4 after Ben Johnson gets his first win over the Packers as head coach. Launching downfield, going for it all. Bears win it. DJ Moore. Mark Rody here hear from Rahimi, Harris, and Grody middays 10 to 2. Stick around as all of our shows and team of Bears experts dissect this critical win from every angle. And we take you inside the locker room. Plus, we'll look ahead to their next matchup as the Bears head west to take on the 49ers in a Sunday night showdown here on Chicago Sports Radio 670 The Score, always live on the free Odyssey and iHeartRadio apps.
Hey, Chicago, it's David Haugh from the